And today we're joined by Sabrina Fallah. How are you today, Sabrina?
I'm doing very well. You?
I'm great, thanks. It's perfect weather here, so can't wait to get something done with it. So let's get straight into it. When did you start making music?
Making like recording music.
Recording,
Uh,
writing?
okay. Well, when I was very, very young, probably started writing in the fourth grade when I was writing short stories and poetry. And I recorded probably when I was 13, 14, because I used to put my music on MySpace
Okay.
back in the day before iTunes and YouTube came out and you could sell it. I would just put it there to get it heard. So yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
Okay. What sort of music were you listening to at that time? What was sort of your first music you listened to?
Oh, when I first started, probably Michelle Branch, Simple Plan, Avril Lavigne, Evanescence, and then I went into Green Day, Bon Jovi, and Billy Idol.
I was going to say, I can notice a Green Day poster right behind you.
Yeah.
Um, so what was the first album you ever bought? What was the first sort of music you purchased?
Oh my God, probably Britney Spears. I have to say that's probably the first album I ever bought before I went into like finding the style of music I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody bought Britney Spears first.
So a bit different from the first music you listened to then.
Yeah, but going into what I'm doing would be Michelle Branch would be the first one, which I was singing a lot before I wanted to go into like Avril style and then Simple Plan and stuff. But yeah, but the first record I ever bought would probably be the first album of Britney Spears, and
Okay.
I still have it.
Oh well, so it's what was that? Was it MP3, CD, vinyl?
It was a record
Okay,
CD. Yeah.
okay. And so who would you call your sort of inspiration for music? Who would you say inspires you most to create your music?
My life, because I write about what I go through, because people are in this world is not like it. People can have problems living day by day, and I thought if I write music to help people, it would help me too. So I write about what I go through and what others go through, and hopefully it helps the listeners that listen to my music. So that's
Oh,
what I write about.
okay. So going back to some of the stuff you've worked on, in 2018 you signed with Dance Plant Records.
2019. Yes,
2019, sorry. What was sort of
that's
feeling
okay.
when that happened? What was sort of going through your mind when you got that through?
Finally. Um, I was going through a lot because I've been trying to get signed. And then as soon as I got it, I'm like, now the actual work starts.
Yeah,
But I was just happy to find someone that believed in me and believes in me. And yeah, things are going very well. I'm now on mainstream radio as well. So yeah, it took a year from when I got signed to get on the radio, but it always takes that long because you have to prove yourself
yeah,
and push. But yeah, things are going and it's crazy once you put your work in, how fast things can happen if you really just do it and don't think, when is it going to happen? Just do it because it's going to happen one day.
yeah,
I have this patience thing where it's like it's taking too long, but then it's going to happen when it's the right time to happen. So
yeah,
that's what I believe. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And so your latest release was your self-titled compilation album, which came out in 2019.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about the album. What sort of made you want to release a compilation album at that point?
Well, when I got signed, my label wanted to re-release all of the songs that I already put out and add a new one, which is Everything, my song Everything. And so that way it's all in one. So if people want all my songs, they can get it all together. So I had a feeling they would do that. because some labels will want to re-release your songs once you sign.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. And do you have a favorite song on that album?
That's the question I always get, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't say favorite, but I can say the first one I normally play live to start the show.
Okay. What's that song then?
It's One Chance, because
Okay.
it's my baby. It's very close. It was off of my first EP, which that song really picked up, like got a lot of people like listening to it. So I always play that one first.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what's sort of the story behind that song? Where did that one come about?
It's about wanting the guy you like to give you a chance to go out with them. It's actually when I was in college, I liked this guy and I wanted him to go out with me. We're actually really good friends and he knows about the song, but it just that story just came out so nice to be in a song and he's heard it and it's fine. But yeah.
Okay. And so talk a bit about that extra song you were talking about on the album, Everything. Where did that one
Everything.
sort of come about?
Well, everything is actually written by Chris Burkett and his daughter May Burkett, which he actually produced that song with me. And when I was recording other songs in his studio, he said, "I think you should sing this song." He thought it would be good for my voice. So I practiced it and I'm like, "Wow, okay. Okay, this is awesome. I love it. I love it." The song is about peer pressure as a teenager, going through the stress, going through life, not knowing what you want, putting a fake smile to make people think you're happy. Because, in high school, there's so much drama. So,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I sang that song because I went through that exact thing when I was in high school. So it does relate.
Yeah. And so, of course, you brought up Chris Burkett then. You've been able to work with producers such as him, Stuart Epps, Kent Wells, and they've had the privilege of working with artists such as Elton John, Led Zeppelin, Dolly Parton. What's it like to be able to work with people that have that sort of experience and can actually bring so much to what you really want to do?
You learn from them. The best thing about them is they didn't change anything or they let me have my creativity. Um, I didn't feel that I had to prove anything. I was just myself. Really, I was just in the right place at the right time to have that opportunity. Like, I all of them which I worked with, I didn't expect.
Yeah.
It just came in front of me at that point. But I have to say, Stuart Epps was really good. He wanted to make sure I liked what I heard before he mastered it. Same with Chris and Kent. Um, yeah. But the best thing about them is they knew how to make me comfortable before I sang. So it's not like I got there and got into the booth and started singing. They talked to me, we went over a few things to get me comfortable. And that's what producers need to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so some of these, of course, with the experience, they have a lot to offer. How did it come to you first talking to them, and actually working with them to produce new music?
um well, Stuart, I got the opportunity from my college class, the producers class, which he called us on Skype. I didn't know he could see me through the video camera, and he noticed me because I raised my hand a lot when he asked us who sings, who plays, who writes. I was lucky that somehow he was interested to know more about me, and then we exchanged emails. Chris, I was going to a songwriters association in Canada. I met this guy on the street asking him, where is the building? It just so happens that he was working with Chris and that I needed a rock producer. And met him through, I think his name was David. I'm not sure, John or David. Um, and Kent was online looking to find some people to collaborate with. And I met somebody in Nashville and she connected me with Kent. But wow. But I was actually singing in the same booth as Dolly Parton.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was I didn't meet her, but she does come to the studio a lot. But when I was there, she wasn't there. But I saw all her awards on the
Oh, wow.
wall though. Yeah.
That must have been something else, seeing all the awards.
Yeah, well, it's nice walking into a studio where, wow, big names, big names.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. So talking a bit more about your music. You've had plays of your music all around the world, US, Canada, UK, Australia. What's the sort of feeling with that when you say get a new play from a different country? What sort of feeling you get when you find that out?
It worked because I'm trying so hard. I tried recently to get myself in the UK and Europe, and finally I got Belgium, I got France, I got England, I got everybody coming. So it's just pushing hard to get the response. But when I get a country that I haven't gotten, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
my hard work has paid off.
Mm.
And I'm hoping it grabs more in that country.
Yeah. Okay. And so what sort of work do you do behind that? Because obviously I presume you do a lot of sort of self-promotion yourself. What sort of the process that goes into that?
I just send out a really nice email with my bio, that I'm signed as well. And I have a list of stations that play me that are mainstream that I mentioned, so they see that the stations have played me, so they can be like, okay, if they played her, maybe we should give her a chance. But that also depends on the station and its format. I could be sending it to a station and they say, sorry, we don't play new rock. So that can happen too. And if it's not new rock, then they can't play me because I'm considered the new rock, not the classic rock.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. And so of course your last album came out 2019. So what can we see on the horizon for you? What sort of stuff are you working on at the minute?
writing, I'm still in lockdown because of the pandemic. So when the pandemic started, I was about to go into the studio.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So everything got pushed. But my label and I are talking. We're planning to, once they got the first vaccine. I haven't gotten mine yet because it hasn't reached my age group.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get them both and they get their second, then I can go into the studio and record because we're safe. But until then, I can't go into any studio right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good for everybody to be safe before I go in, so there's no problems there.
Yeah. And so what sort of stuff are you working on? Have you got a few singles? Have you got an album ready to record?
My goal is to have an album, but I don't know if it might be single, then album. I don't know yet, but I really just want to get at least one song out there just to start the process
Yeah.
because, it's been almost 2 years and I think I need to release a new one.
Yeah.
So,
And
but that will happen when I can go into the studio.
yeah. And so what sort of style will this song be? Will it be sort of following a similar path to your previous ones, or will it be something new?
I'm hoping it's from what I'm thinking, it might be a little bit heavier. Maybe I like to do some soft ones, like soft ballads, like
Yeah.
Hurt, or everything it's like more like an. I've been told it sounds like a bit of Evanescence, so we'll see where the creativity goes when I'm in the studio because I might think of something now, but in the studio might be completely different.
Yeah. And so would you say sometimes the songs that you make almost inspired when you get into the studio then?
Well, things can change.
Hmm.
I might write it one way and then the sound changes in the studio, but um I'm very open because when a producer says let's do this instead of that, I trust them because they have had experience and know what sells and what's good to be put in the mainstream world. So
Yeah.
yeah, and everything they have told me has actually turned out really good. So I'm glad I took their advice.
Hmm.
But other than that, yeah, like even when I write a song and finish it, I might go back and tweak it again.
Yeah.
You know, songs are never done until you record them. And sometimes they're just never done, but you just have to stop and just put it out there.
Yeah. Okay. And so, of course, after the past year or however long it's been, and of course, you're creating new music. Will you be performing more live stuff when is available?
I am doing virtual shows online, but yeah, I honestly just can't wait to get back out there, out in front of people.
Okay. And with all this increased sort of international play, could you see yourself going abroad at some point?
I hope so.
That's good.
I hope to get back into the festivals when all this goes. I can go back into the big festivals again. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And of course, for anyone interested, where can people get tickets for these virtual performances?
Oh, they would have to go to my well, I don't charge really when I do these things. It's
Where can people go to see these then?
oh to well, they can go to my website, sabrinafallah.com. And at the top, they can go to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all my information is on my social media accounts.
That's fantastic. And so talking about sort of creating new music, who would you say would be your dream collaboration to make music with?
Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, because I wonder every day where he comes up with some of his,
Hmm.
like his American Idiot album that got me into rock.
Yeah,
I swear if you read the lyric booklet from the beginning to the end, it's a story.
yeah,
It's a book. So I just want to know, like, if we ever sat together and wrote a song, what would come out of it? Because he's so good at writing.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so through each of these interviews, we sort of have an ongoing question that each guest gets. And the one question there from us is, do you have a favorite biscuit or cookie of sorts?
Oreo cookies.
Ah, you can't beat Oreos, can you? Do you have a favorite particular one, the originals or the blonde one?
Just the regular Oreos.
Fantastic choice there. So it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you, Sabrina. Would you like to
Thank
go and
you.
introduce the next song?
Um, yeah, I would love for you guys to hear my song Hurt.
That's fantastic. And that's coming up next here on 382 Radio.